Hello everyone, and welcome again to Stitch Trek, the show where we talk about Star Trek costumes, how to make them, how to buy them on the cheap, and the Star Trek cruise. Yes, what? What? I'm busy doing stuff. I guess just gonna hang out. What? I don't know what you want, baby. Oh, you're a good girl. This is the show where we talk about Star Trek costumes, how to make them, where to get them cheaply, and I review Star Trek costumes because we love Star Trek here. Star Trek is life, and the Star Trek cruise is amazing. So today's episode is yet another one of my how I made this costume for the Star Trek cruise episodes, because I might as well share them with you since I went through all this effort. Maybe it'll inspire you, darling. Please get settled to make one of your own, or to go on the cruise. Go on the cruise. Go on it. I swear to goodness gracious, it is so phenomenal. Isn't it, Jojo? You wouldn't know. You have not been. You want to come with me? Alright, in this episode, I'm going to show you how I made an Endorian costume. I make the antennas and I paint myself blue, but other than that, I really didn't have to make anything. I kind of based it off of the Andorian. Is it Jennifer or Jessica? It's Jennifer from Lower Decks. But I couldn't find a wig that I liked for a ponytail like hers, so I went for a crop cut, which I think is super adorable. But I didn't really feel like the character, but it definitely looked good altogether. Also, this Lower Decks uniform jacket was the one that I reviewed a few episodes ago. So if you want to see what kind of quality that is, go watch that one. And that face I made was like, it's not the best quality. It didn't fit great. And I had to add Velcro to the closure so it wouldn't gap, and I took it in just a little bit on the edges because just go watch that episode. It's hard to describe. I give it a full rundown. But yeah, other than that, just black leggings and tall boots, and it kind of completed the look. So yeah, here's my Star Trek The Cruise Endorian adventure. Join me, won't you? First thing you need is some wire, doesn't matter what color, and some foam clay. These are going to be the antennae. What I'm doing, because this wire is very thin, if you choose a thicker wire, I suppose you don't have to, is twisting it. I'll loop it over and twist it and twist it and twist it, just to make it a little more rigid. The two extensions that will come out of the bottom of the antenna will be used to anchor it to the wig. I'm going to do this twice, and I'm going to leave a loop at the top, and that's to kind of anchor the foam, and a loop on the side also to anchor the foam. The last thing I want is for the antennae to be able to slide off of the wire. Then I'm going to twist it to about the length I think the antenna would be, and make a duplicate. Two of them pretty much identical. I mean, not identical, because you're not going to see any of this. Just going to grab this foam. It's really cool stuff. It air dries. Once you're done making it into whatever you want, if you've got fingerprints left on it or anything like that, you can sand it off. I'm just going to select an appropriate size, two pieces about the same. And now I'm molding it over the wire. Over the years, Andorian antennae have looked different. They've evolved and changed not only in their shape, but also the placement on the head. I'm going to do a more forward placement and I guess just mimic the shape that I favor most, which I think is the one with the ridges. I'm going to make the tip slightly suction cup shaped. And then I'm just trying to keep the wire hidden. And then I'm going to make those ridges down the trunk, pretty much by gripping it with my fingers. My fingers will create the separate rings. You have a little time before the stuff really dries out, so you can play with it and perfect it. I'm just going to keep molding and sculpting until it feels and looks right. Now this is going to be the base. It needs to splay out a little bit so that the antennae have a platform to stand on. This platform will be hidden in the hair. I also need to make sure that this platform stands at the right angle, because once it dries I will not be able to change it. Just a little more perfecting. I've made the second one, and now I'm just comparing the two. I'm trying to get them just about equal. We are at sea, and this is the view from our balcony. It is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. The weather was perfect. And here we go, on with the blue. It's recommended with this brand that you wet a sponge, pat it out of the disc-shaped container, and layer, layer, layer. This lipstick was the most impressive. It stayed secure. I was very happy with this purchase. I can still see some skin tone coming through, so I'm just trying to pat that away after the original layer has dried a bit. It really took a lot to get this to cover all of my natural skin tone. Now for the makeup. I really am going to stick, I think, with mostly blues and purples for the makeup itself. I'm doing a slight smoky eye. I just feel like it looks really good with this color combination. Replacing that missing color on the cheek. My plan is to hopefully get this to stay with a setting spray. Now I'm using blue eyeshadow as a rouge. I suppose on this blue it actually looks pretty bluish purple, but in the pan it looked just blue. This stuff is so wet you have to wait a while for it to dry. And here it is with the wig. Dang, it looks good. All I did was paint the antenna with makeup as well. The Velcro closures I added seemed to work really well. And I put the makeup on my hands. The setting spray worked pretty well on my hands considering I was touching things and opening doors. We came back once during the day after the premiere of the new Picard episode and we reapplied to our hands. Other than that, it seemed to last all right. I love this wig. I cannot get over it. The color combo is great. This is Deanna. She looks amazing as an Orion. And this was Q's costume party. The costumes this night were outstanding. Deanna again, looking fabulous. And we may have ordered some Manhattans. The takeoff. Oh yeah, the takeoff was rough. It took quite a bit of scrubbing to get it out of our pores, but totally worth it. Hey, I'm back. Really quick, shout out to Kenneth Mitchell's store. I mentioned where you can get his merchandise in my last episode. This is his Active collection, and all the proceeds go to combating ALS. It's also got some writing down the back. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. He is doing a lot of great work right now despite his own struggles, and I thought that as Star Trek fans we could support a Star Trek actor who is doing an awful lot of good. We can help with that good. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you found that super fun. It was shorter, but I didn't actually have to make the costume, so there you go. It was a great day. It was so much fun. That was the night of Q's costume party, and holy smokes, people went crazy. It was phenomenal. So if you want to see more pictures of people's costumes from that night, there are a whole bunch on the Star Trek The Cruise 5 Facebook page. If you just scroll, you'll see them. You'll know when you see them. Other than that, and this dog leaning on me, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a treat. I can't wait to make another one of these. Live long and prosper. Kapla, and if you feel at all like supporting this nonsense, I have a Patreon and a PayPal. You can pitch some pennies my way. I will put the links in the description below. Look at those ears, they're so big. Huh, a pretty girl. Who's that? Is it Nikki? Is it you?